Welcome to the Aegance Offscript Podcast, where we talk to industry leaders who share their stories, insights, and lessons, unfiltered and unscripted. I'm your host, Lawrence, and today I'm joined by Nikita Blanc, founder of HeyEveryone, a company using AI to reinvent how founders reach investors. Nikita and his team are trying to collapse the cycle by marrying automation and precision. Nikita, thanks so much for being here. Excited to dive in.
Thank you very much for having me here. That's a great opportunity to talk about interesting stuff.
Yeah, so if you could give us a little bit more context beyond the positioning that I've just provided for HeyEveryone, that'd be fantastic.
As a repeat founder, I've kind of lived the pain of startup fundraising. And at my last company, I raised $3 million the hard way by sending around 3,000 personalized cold emails to investors by hand. And I found out that most founders are stuck doing the same thing. Tedious work that, steals months from building their product. And at HeyEveryone, we basically try to fix that. We use AI to automate what I did manually, but as you can imagine, 100 times faster and more efficiently. So founders upload their deck, they answer a few questions about their company, and our platform generates not only hyper-personalized emails, but it finds the right people, it follows up and shows engagement analytics all in days instead of like a few months. So right now, the problem is if you don't have the warm network and you are a first-time founder and try to fundraise for your company, what you normally do to go to Google or ChatGPT or Perplexity and just try to find investors that could fund your company, but you don't have the mindset of an investor. You don't know what they're searching for. You don't know the right people to approach. So it yields in irrelevant messages to irrelevant people. And that yields to zero meetings and zero money fundraised. So we at HeyEveryone get like a 10x the replies and meetings versus like the normal code outreach. So you can think of around 20 to 25% reply rate and 3 to 5% meeting rate from the amount of emails that we send out. And we've already helped a bunch of startups raise over $10 million, and we're super proud of it. The main message is actually pretty simple. Fundraising should be as efficient and data-driven as shipping code. And we're turning this kind of brutal manual process into a scalable system so that founders can get back to building. That's what they're doing their best.
In terms of that founding vision for HeyEveryone, have you found that it's evolved since day one?
Of course. As probably every company, we've gone through several pivots. We started this as a company for investor updates. And the idea behind that was in my last business, I had investors who requested weekly updates for the company so that I would upload the metrics, what's happening, what's new, what features are we shipping and whatnot. And it required a lot of time to put this all together and sort of compile all the data, make it like in a storytelling format, that kind of stuff. And I remember spending around 3, 4, 5 hours sometimes every Friday sending those updates out. And we figured out that would be a great idea to kind of automate all the process. And that was back when GPT 3.0 just launched. So a while ago. And we figured out that AI is able to help us extract the data, compile the data that's formatted differently everywhere into a single format, help us analyze that and put the compelling email together. Right now, it doesn't sound like a lot. Given the tech that we have right now at our disposal, but back at that time, that was something that we were really proud of putting together. But the problem was, so the product was okay. The product sort of solved the problem that we initially saw, but we underestimated the competition that was out there, and we thought we were competing with other products that are solving the same problem, like the delivery of those updates, say MailChimp, or the companies that are doing exactly the same thing, help you write investor updates. I already forgot the name of those competitors, but you can look them up. Apparently, we were competing with not writing investor updates at all. So founders have to do extra work. They have to pay for it, and they have to use a third-party service where they kind of give access to pretty vulnerable data. And that is a competition that's really hard to win. So we started talking to founders and surprisingly found out that most of the recipients of those emails were not their current investors, but actually potential investors. And we started getting requests like, okay, we have the update. We want to deliver it to our potential investors, but how do we find them? What's the best solution for us to get the emails and the names of the people that would be interested in investing in us? And this is how, like, the market told us that, hey, this is what you should be doing. You already know how to write emails. Now you should help get the founders the actual recipients of those emails. So that's how we pivoted to being a cold outreach company.
And how have you seen your role shift within HeyEveryone as the companies move beyond that startup phase?
I can definitely feel that my role shifts a little bit, because right now founders, it's more of a solo founder era right now, opposed to like 5 years ago when you should have like 3 co-founders where there's a business guy, there's a tech guy, and there's a marketing guy, and everyone sort of should do like all the work in their field. But right now, given the tech that we have, founders don't need to have that many people, and founders don't need to kind of spend all the time communicating and figuring out what we need to do, and figuring out what kind of the personal attitude of each of the co-founder is to the business and to the strategy, and align all the visions together. It's just unnecessary right now. You have AI and agents as your co-founders. And this is how I'm seeing my role shift, because right now I'm mostly managing the work of agents, and I'm utilizing it to the maximum capacity. So this is how I'm feeling that my role shifts. But I mean, only time will tell if that's more efficient or less efficient than it was previously. But I'm feeling that I'm able to move faster than before. And that's for sure. Like tech-wise, it's just uncomparable. Tech-wise, we used to ship features super slow compared to what I'm doing now. Features are just, whenever I have an idea, like the distance from an idea to the shipping stage is hours compared to days or weeks some time ago. And this is an exciting shift. I'm really pumped to have this opportunity to be alive at this stage of technology.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you make the decision about what aspects of Hey Everyone need to remain human led versus what can be automated using AI agents and various AI tools?
Yeah, that's a great one. I think, um, well, that there has to be right now, I'm feeling that there has to be a human in the loop because we're dealing with startups, and startups are not like a given thing where they have all the things settled out, they know what they're doing, and like they're just this is like the fundraising is one single piece that is missing. More often than not, startups don't know what they're doing. They don't know who they're building it for. They don't know their target market, and often I need to kind of think about that and help them understand what the startup is about. Help them rebuild the pitch, rebuild the storytelling. And this is something that AI can't well, probably can, but I haven't figured out a way for it to help me do that. Probably sometime in the future I will do that as well. But like I'm as a human in the loop, I'm helping them with their approach to their own company. And whenever we figured out the kind of the story, the background, the whatever the mission, like the strategy of the company, we can start thinking about fundraising. And also, I want to point out that sometimes, probably in like 30% of the cases of the leads that I'm talking to, it's really not, it's really relevant to fundraise. I'm actually telling most of the companies if you have an option not to fundraise, please don't.
Our founders are trusting you with some of their most sensitive workflows, obviously their investor communications. How are you building and maintaining trust with them?
That's a good one as well. I mean, the feedback that I have from all the founders I'm talking to is that um, I don't want to sound too posh or anything, but that's the feedback that I'm getting. Um, that I'm an active listener, and opposed to like, I just have to give you a little bit of context before I answer. So, we're having calls with startup founders, with the leads, before we get engaged with the actual work. So we kind of, I'm doing the evaluation of the company before I offer the services. And I'm doing that because sometimes founders need to realize that they need a pivot, or they need a shift in their strategy, or they don't need a fundraise at all. And I'm doing that opposed to VC analysts who are doing actually the same thing, but they're not giving any feedback. They're just listening to whatever input they get, and they try to kind of put that in a box, like whether it's a yes or whether it's a no, if that doesn't align with the thesis of the fund or the whatever entity. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to listen to the input from the family. I'm trying to analyze it, and like I'm kind of like, I've trained myself to be sort of an agent inside of my brain that has this function of re-pitching the company and realigning the vision if it's necessary. Um, and I offer this idea to a founder I'm talking to, and if they like it, we can move forward with everything. If they don't, they don't. But the feedback that I get from founders is that, opposed to other sort of so-called investors, I am trying to help. I'm listening, and I'm there for them. So I view this as kind of an opportunity to give back to the founders community. When I started over a decade ago, there was a lot of people that were helping me along the way just for free, just because they can, with advice, with intros, with anything. And this is my way of sort of giving back to the community.
Once you've done your discovery, you make your proposal, and the founder agrees to move forward with Hey Everyone. How involved are they then with editing, messaging, involved with the engagement, or do they trust you to ship and let's see what comes back?
They have an opportunity to be engaged, and this is what I'm telling them upfront. So you can edit whatever message you have, and that's okay. It's totally okay, because you obviously know more about your company than I do, and it's all based on the input that came from the founder. So if you have more input, I wouldn't be able to get access to it unless you tell me or unless you do it yourself. So they have an opportunity to fix whatever things are, and this is like a collaborative work. Sometimes, like I would say 85% of the cases, they're not getting involved. They just trust me with the process, and they get their result. The latter 15%, they get involved into editing, into picking up the funds. And I really, really like those clients a lot, because I see that they are engaged. I see that they're very interested in a result, and that motivates me to help them more. That like, I see that as a collaboration, opposed to just giving out and helping with the service. And that really drives me, that collaboration. I think that's beautiful. And sometimes whenever we have this back and forth discussions about the copy, or about the area where we approach the investor, or about the way we approach the investor, because sometimes there's not a direct ask for the money. Sometimes we're asking for help, and actually asking for help yields in better conversion rates than asking for the money or for the call. So this, I like to be involved in that brainstorming process. That really drives me.
And have you noticed any differences in how founders in different regions view AI written or AI driven outreach?
I guess there's no difference, because I don't know, maybe it's thanks to OpenAI and their products. Everyone got used to having AI stuff out there and it being a thing in their lives. So it's not as unusual as, oh yeah, actually, I remember when we started the investor update product, that our clients, which were also founders, they were really suspicious to the content that came out. They're like, we don't really trust the output of the machine with our data, and we have to, like, that was one of the concerns from our clients. And also we were fundraising back then, and it was one of the concerns of the investors we'd spoken to. Like, how could you guarantee that the actual output would be compelling, would be like relevant? And that was an issue back then. Right now, I wouldn't say that's an issue. I actually get zero questions about that.
And what channels or tactics have proven most effective in attracting new founders into the Hey Everyone ecosystem?
I would say content. It was really hard for me personally to start making content. I was always a behind the scenes guy, although I was always like the face of a company that I'm doing. But like, I'm more into building products. I'm more into the business side of things, opposed to like being out there and posting stuff. but I found my way to do that. We started posting content on whatever social media platforms we can get our hands on, and we just started growing organically, and that's amazing. I don't put that much effort as I would put like 5 years ago into posting content and writing content. Um, I think I have around 10 AI agents that are helping me to do that. Um, and I kind of managed to train them in a way that it really sounds and feels useful to the end reader of that content. Because not only it's automated, but it also has a human in the loop, meaning me, that is evaluating every piece of content that the machine generates. And sometimes I'm learning from that content myself. That's a great thing about that as well. I mean, yeah, that's organic part of it brings me to just managing AI agents to output better and better content pieces to bring more value to the leads, and that yields into better conversion rates, better reach, and better conversion rates um, to filling in the form and booking the call with me. So yeah, this is how it's done. We're not doing any direct marketing. We're not reaching out to founders. It's not a bad thing. It's just something that I'm not doing currently. I might get involved in that sometime in the future. Maybe early next year, we'll start doing the outreach, and we'll see how it goes. But right now, it's mostly organic. Well, organic that came out from posting content.
And have you lent into accelerator or VC network partnerships yet?
Yeah, we're partnering with accelerators to help their alumni network in terms of fundraising. So we're in talks with a few ones that I can't name right now, but we already have secured partnerships with Orbit Startups and Startup Accelerator. And we already helped a few alumni from those ones.
So once a founder comes on board with HeyEveryone, how do you ensure that they experience early success and stick around?
I would say by talking to them, and that's the human in the loop part. And this is the thing that, although I love doing that, I understand that I need to get rid of this, and because like that's the limiting factor for scaling. I want to scale this thing, and I only have 24 hours in a day. So I have to figure out a way to remove myself from the loop. And this is what I'm currently busy with. But I don't know, like if I remove myself talking and brainstorming and being involved with the founder, I lose that personal touch, I lose that attitude and the feeling of being there for them, which I think is the strong part right now. So it remains to be seen what happens.
And as Nikita, as AI is evolving, and it's evolving at a rate of knots, it seems like every week there's a shift in the sort of AI landscape. How are you deciding what new capabilities to adopt versus what to hold off on?
Well, whenever I'm building something, I am not really focusing on which tech do I use. I'm really focusing on what problems do I solve. And if there's a new thing, and I'm obviously watching every single thing that's coming up in the market, and if there's a thing that I can see that solves an issue, for example, like there's like a part in our process where we have to crawl the internet to kind of understand if the investor is deploying capital or not, if they're active or dead. And we have to do that by crawling. And this is not really agentic. This is not really AI driven. It's just crawling the internet. So when there was a release of the Perplexity's new API model, that like I think it's called Search something. There was a Sonar Pro previously, but they released a new one I think last week or a couple of weeks ago. That's something that could be useful because that would remove the crawling part from our process, and just having an agent do that is actually easier. So I haven't implemented that yet, but I think I'm going to be doing that really soon. This is an example of a new technology being relevant. Another example would be the release of Sora app that is totally irrelevant to our business. It's just like an entertaining thing. I haven't seen a problem in my process and business in general that Sora would solve. So not implementing that. Maybe as, giving a little sprinkle of entertainment to the content that I post, that would do something, but I'm not taking that really seriously right now. So again, I understand the whole process of the business. I understand what my goals are. And based on that, I figure out if the technology works or doesn't work. That's how I'm making that decision.
And Nikita, if we look at HeyEveryone in its totality, what is working really well within the business at the moment?
The content that we're creating for every investor out there is getting better and better because we are training the model we're training the model on emails that converted, and having those emails really helps you create new ones that are better, that are more relevant, that are shorter, which is also important, and also figure out new ways to get a response and convert to a meeting. Mm-hmm. So the content part of it works really great. What doesn't work really great is the crawling part. I really don't like it. And I wish there was a way to do it better.
You actually, you got one step ahead of me. I was going to ask you what wasn't working well and where the bottlenecks were in the company, but it sounds like you've answered that question for me.
Figuring out that part is really, well, I mean, it's just stressful for me. Probably for someone else who's been in the crawling space for years, that's like peanuts. But I haven't been in the crawling space. So,
if we look ahead, Nikita, how do you see the founder-investor relationship changing as AI becomes more embedded in fundraising?
Investors become more demanding in terms of the product, sales, revenue, marketing, anything when it comes to a startup. Because right now you have options to get more with little to zero budget. And right now you don't need a $500,000 at a pre-seed stage to hire developers and make your product happen before you sell something or before you figure out your target market. You actually don't need it. You can do that on your own. And if you can't, probably you're not the best founder to put my money into. And what I'm seeing right now is that investors are actually asking you, why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? You have this tool, you have that opportunity. Why aren't you using that? And I think it's harder right now for founders to fundraise and to get attention of investors because of that. So, and we try to facilitate using the tools when we help founders. I think this is the right thing to do because I don't want to kind of waste founders' resources, energy, and whatnot when to investors and having little to zero result.
Mm.
I'm always trying to push all the tech that's available for close to zero budget so that founders would achieve more before they would reach out to investors and even thinking about fundraising.
Mm.
AI tools help with sales, with marketing, with tech, with every aspect of the business. And it's actually ridiculous if you wouldn't use it.
I mean, speaking about AI, though, do you think that investors' expectation is shifting as they're receiving more AI authored pitches?
I've only heard twice or three times this year. I don't think that's a big issue because investors have their own sort of filters and they can realize and instantly detect if an email is AI generated or not. One example of it being M dashes. And sometimes people who use these kind of automations without giving a proper attention, they're very easily detectable. We've been living in the AI era for like a few years already, and I think everyone can understand if the text is AI generated or not, because AI has a certain style, and like I would say 90% of people use ChatGPT and GPT models in general for their content, so they can instantly say if this text was GPT written or not. But there are other models like all the Anthropic line of models, the Google models that have different styles, and that's harder to detect. So we try to have our emails sound as human as possible, and we train the models this way. So the only feedback that I got from investors regarding the AI-driven outreach was not about us, but about other tools like some like Clay or other companies. I don't remember these names, but like Clay, I do remember because that was one of the tools from the feedback. And these tools are not really focused on the personalized outreach and making it sound amazing, which we are focused on. So I guess using these tools is useful for something else, but not for making that kind of content. And me personally, I receive a ton of AI generated content as in my mailbox, on LinkedIn as well. And I definitely can tell if a person has put whatever time and resource into understanding who they're reaching out to and what their goals are in terms of communicating with me. I can imagine that investors have the same sort of feeling inside of them, like they're not treated well when they feel not treated well when they're getting an email that's doesn't have a soul in it, that doesn't have like proper context in it to get your interest. So this AI generic AI automated emails sound like a regular spam that we got used to for decades previously. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, authenticity, right? Especially in the space that you're playing in, connecting investors to founders, authenticity is crucial, right?
100%.
So if we look ahead for Hey Everyone, what's next? What's on the horizon for the next 12 to 18 months?
I would say number one priority would be removing the human in the loop and making this a proper kind of humanless B2B SaaS. This would be my goal for the next 6 to 12 months. Moving ahead, I would explore different markets, meaning that I would look at LP outreach, I would look at B2B outreach, and I would consider LinkedIn as one of the resources that we kind of cover, because right now we're only covering email, but LinkedIn is tricky for its API restrictions, and it's kind of, I mean, I'm trying to avoid it right now, but moving forward, maybe something changes, and we'll touch on that. But yeah, apart from that, I would hire some people to manage AI agents for me, and these are my priorities moving forward.
And if any of our listeners or viewers want to get in touch with you, get in touch with Hey Everyone, where's the best place for them to do that?
It would be my LinkedIn, actually. You just search for Nikita Blanc or Hey Everyone, and feel free to connect with me. I actually accept all the connect requests that I'm getting. So that's number one. Number two, my email, n@heyeveryone.io. Feel free to reach out, and if you have any questions where I can be helpful, I'm super motivated to be helpful. So yeah, don't hesitate to reach out.
Excellent. Well, Nikita, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. It's really been an interesting dive into Hey Everyone. Look forward to the next one. Maybe we can get a second one in the diaries. But yeah,
would love to, Lawrence. That's amazing talking to you. We've covered interesting things, and I really hope that we could motivate some founders to explore the topics that we've covered today. I really love this opportunity to have this conversations with founders, and best of luck with all the companies that you're building.
Thanks, Nikita.